welcome back to another episode with the only game that looks like Fallout in space. The Outer Worlds. Alright, so last time we got all the way up to meeting the Vicar or however you pronounce that. Alright, so in the last episode we found ourselves in Edgewater and we met a few of the residents all the way up to the Vicar over here, Vicar Max,
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
who gave us a very interesting mission for a book that I am highly fascinated by. A religious man seeking a heretic book.
Please get it.
Sheesh, I'm working at it. Of course, but I had something I wanted to ask you.
What would you like to discuss?
I guess I don't have anything I want to ask you. I thought I had something I wanted to mention. And we're done here. It's already nightfall again. Man, the days go by really quick out here, don't they?
You some sort of freelancer?
Yeah, I'm some sort of freelancer.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
I don't have time for this.
Wonder what that was about.
Got my sights on you. You lose a bet or something?
Probably a reference to the pantsless wanderer. Don't worry, I'll put clothes on eventually. Nobody at the front desk. That's gonna be stealing. We're gonna close this door before I access the terminal, because I have no idea if this is trespassing of some kind or not. Let's go access the logs. Gotta love some of the comments on there. When life gives you lemons, consider a free trial. Blah, blah, blah. Kind of makes me think of Cave Johnson's lemon escapade. So, the Edgewater Salt Tuna Cannery, a Spacer's Choice property. Notice, the Edgewater Salt Tuna Canning Facility strictly adheres to Spacer's Choice standards of health and safety. Notice, schedule your sick leave with your Spacer's Choice foreman and or supervisor. Be considerate towards members of Spacer's Choice family. Allow 2 to 4 weeks to process and approve your scheduled sick leave. Lost hours must be compensated to the company. See Reed if you're having trouble paying for your sick leave. We'll try to arrange wage deductions instead. Remember, work invigorates the spirit, sickness in the body reflects sickness in the mind, and sickness in the character. If you find yourself falling ill, it may be time to schedule a meeting with our local vicar. Well, that is interesting. So is this where that one gentleman claimed his, started his expiration? And this looks like the warehouse. Probably not supposed to be out there. Spacer's Choice. I'm going to also assume I'm not supposed to be there, but my mission does point to this. So, we'll go up the elevator and find out if he's upset that I'm showing up unannounced.
Holcomb, I need you to explain this.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Are they waiting for me to walk in then?
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you. We'll be kind of polite here, but I have a feeling that he's the opposite. I'll wait until you're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, let's see. What are my options? We can start with introductions. I'm Rein Quest.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Now, is that a reference to, would he say that if I was wearing anything, or is it specifically because I'm wearing nothing? I think you may have the wrong idea about me. Uniform? What are you talking about? I don't work for Spacer's Choice. I think I like the second one better. Uniform? What on earth are you talking about?
Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
I think you have the wrong idea about me.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
I'm listening. Actually, wait. Let me guess. You want me to do something before you'll help me. That one sounds like it's funny, but...
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
I don't like the sound of mostly abandoned. When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
What a surprise. I never would have guessed.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into them sooner or later. The people living in the botanical labs, They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
You want me to solve your deserter problem? I charge by the I'm not that kind of person. So why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
Sounds like them being at their stations aren't exactly the answer to your problems there, Mr. Reed. Yeah, I've seen Edgewater. I don't blame him for walking out. None of what you have told me is my problem.
It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
For some reason, I suspect that these, quote, deserters, unquote, are probably going about life a much, much better way. Let's see, how will I recognize Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Did you just tell me to go look for an old crone? What are my responses? You're asking me to cut off power to an entire community.
I am asking you to help us survive. Edgewater needs more workers or we will collapse. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Perhaps. But I can't make any promises.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Sure. I could use the company. It's a little cold at night. Wink, wink.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna get going then. Let's see, companions, blah blah, provide support, blah blah, unlock special, blah blah. Okay, good enough. Now let's go ahead and depart the way that we came in.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Yeah, that's why I was in the elevator. But, okay.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute?
I certainly
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
This about the deserters, figures. If I wanted to deal with the nuance, I wouldn't be this heavily armed. Figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues. Do you know this Adelaide? Deserters are very so what? I can't blame anyone for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Okay. Well, optional, go speak to the vicar. I can do that. I met the vicar. He asked me to find a book for him.
Books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that.
About flipping a switch. I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Your dad is a very wise man. Oh, look at that. The employees are coming to work. Do they like if I come back here? They're not angry, so that's good. That's good. Alright, let's go find Mr. Vicar. Or maybe I should just call him Max.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yeah. Holy places are like that.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Ah, Miss Holcomb. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
This here's Vicar DeSoto. He's always offering spiritual counsel to those that need it.
Thank you for the kind assessment, Miss Holcomb. I admit, I've been quite interested to make our outsider's acquaintance.
But we've already made acquaintance. Okay, whatever.
Please get it.
Yes, I know. Of course, but I had something else.
What would you like to discuss?
Bavardi wanted me to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Fix the geothermal plant. Cut power to the deserters. Cut off power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
What do you think of Adelaide's group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond your walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Is that even possible? What do I want to pick? This has been a great waste of time. Is that even possible?
Not if things are left to stand as they are.
Okay, so nothing really. I didn't get anything out of that, did you?
Look, you'll catch your death of cold. Put some clothes on.
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
Isn't this supposed to be a... It's a church.
I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
That's a good point. It's an idea. You're a mechanic. Whenever you see a machine, it's in need of fixing.
Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Nonsense. Let's get back to it. You are too kind of a person to not want to fix the universe. Oh wow, you can even see spaceships way up there. Edgewater, salt tuna factory. So I have to wonder what they are canning in there if they're not actually canning salt tuna. Only you, what? Anybody need to get pissed? Only you can protect fourth quarter profits. Do they change that thing every time, or is fourth quarter profits the only thing they care about?
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You kidding me? Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plagued? Ah, shit. I had some of his salt tuna.
You moron.
Mm-mm.
It's hard to talk to you when I can see all your stuff, Captain.
You're fun.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
I like the first part better. Pick up the
Hey,
bypass.
I mean, if you need it, okay.
Sorry. It didn't say I was stealing. This is your house? Let's see here. Maintenance division logs, blah blah blah. Trouble ticket 65565. I don't think we need to go through and read all of these, do we? But if you guys want to see me read this kind of stuff, leave a comment below and I will go through and read everything. Oops, I keep backing up too far. Alright, so that's your computer. No comments that time. What is this thing? That's a workbench. Bread noodles. That sounds disgusting. That needs to be broken into. I don't suppose you'd just open your stuff up for me, would you? tarmac and cheese? That sounds really bad. There's more bread noodles. Pre-sliced bread. Ain't
If you're
nothing.
hungry, I could open up a can of something.
That sounds delicious. Mock apple juice. Really? Mock apple juice. Gourmet salt tuna fillets. What is it, like rats or something? Ooh, heavy ammo.
My dad's... It's an office. Just my office.
A lager. More bypass shunts. I'm glad she doesn't mind me taking her stuff, because this might come in handy. Oh. Access the terminal. Welcome Holcomb Robert. Enter keyword for record search or hold down Control Alt F7 Enter to compose a new entry. Open last searches. 2 records found. Last search in Dumate. First entry. Indumati left Edgewater today. She's been reassigned to Terra 1. I kissed her goodbye at the platform and asked if I'd ever see her again. We both knew the answer was no. Look up and think of me as I'll look up and think of you. Is that his wife? Mother to Pavarti? Transcript. Note from Indumati. Robert, they wouldn't let me keep her, but I know you'll raise her with love, perhaps more than I would make for time. What? Whatever. Perhaps more than I would make for time. You are patient and present in a way that I am not. The company says she has no name until you give her one. Her name is Pavarti. They tell me her birthday will be set on the date she's legally delivered to you. She was actually born on July 7th. Make her feel special when I can't. She liked it when I sang to her. It was the only time she stopped crying. Indumate. Return to the root. I have no idea if I am pronouncing that correctly. A Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Open last entry. I sat up last night reading through Young Spacer's Guide. Almost started reading it out loud from habit. It's been 10 years, but I still have parts of it memorized. Reckon I'll take the next volume into work at the cannery. There's an unused office where I've been taking my lunches. May as well read the whole thing again. Looks like I could unlock that, but I'm not worried about it right now.
Oh, you like
Open.
flowers? I can't find many kinds around here.
How do you keep them alive in here? Another bypass shunt.
If you need to go, I'll wait outside.
I'd rather you held my hand.
I don't like coming out here. People on the street stare.
I reckon they do. I reckon they do. Is that your pruning shears? Why is it laying out here? Alright, so we're done visiting your house. Don't ask me how I knew this was her house. I just have some vague memories. I still haven't finished this game, so I'm hoping to finish it this time
A friend of
through.
mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Don't let the boss catch you saying that.
Okie dokie. Want it, Bernie Cotton. Want it, Bert Bernie Cotton from Spacer's Choice, Department of Retirement. A writ of execution effective immediately for Bert Cotton, former Vicar stationed in Edgewater. Vicarage no longer in good standing with Halcyon Branch Order of Scientific Inquiry. At large and dangerous. Wanted for destruction of company property, murder of company workers in good standing, sedation, and unauthorized use of medical supplies. Generous bounty, payment on delivery, must be able to sign your own name. See Constable Reyes for details. Wanted. Gillum Anthrium. Gill. From Spacer's Choice, Department of Retirement, a writ of execution effective immediately for Gill, former Spacer's Choice associate mechanic, terminated for his position and escorted from Edgewater on grounds of unauthorized adrenal time. Wanted for destruction of company property, murder of company workers in good standing, theft, and unauthorized use of medical supplies. Generous bounty, payment on delivery, must be able to sign your own name, blah blah blah. And wanted Doc Mayville Burgess. From the Spacer's Choice Department of Retirement, a writ of execution effective immediately for Mayville Burris, former Spacer's Choice physician, condemned on charges of dereliction of duty, disappeared from Edgewater with 2 parcels of adrenal time. 2 parcel. Okay. At large and dangerous. Wanted for destruction of company property, murder of company workers in good standing, vandalism, and unlicensed practice of medical or medicine on seditious criminals. Generous bounty, blah blah blah. Oh, hey, we're at the law office, so let's go.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside. It's hard to talk to you when I can see all your stuff, Captain.
I noticed you mention your dad a lot, but you never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
You mean she's dead?
I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
That's inhumane.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
I guess we'll talk later.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
If you need help with your marauder problem, I'm for hire.
As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
I've got some questions for you, if you don't mind.
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Okay. Does the name Phineas Wells mean anything to you?
His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual?
Yeah, he's a scientist. We're acquainted. Yeah, that's exactly what I am going to say. He kidnapped me, unfroze my body, and shot me into space. Then I landed here. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Looks, I'm going with this one. He kidnapped me, unfroze my body, and shot me into space. Then I landed here.
Shot you into space? You know, lying to a Spacer's Choice constable is a violation of company policy and punishable by a fine.
It's a good thing I don't belong to Spacer's Choice family.
It is for Spacer's Choice. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority.
Fascinating. I assumed you were my nearest board authority. Yeah, I don't think so. There was one other thing.
Something to report?
Goodbye. I guess there is nothing. Is there somebody in these? Because if I... Okay. It doesn't look like there's anybody in there. I don't know if I should touch that. I don't know if I get in
Sometimes
trouble.
I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
Nothing I can do about that.
And we're off. Let's go walk out this front door because we can go... Actually, do we have any more dialogue with him?
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant. Look, you'll catch your death of cold. Put some clothes on.
What can I do for you? Go ahead.
You seem pretty enthusiastic about this place.
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
What do you know about this plague?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
What are the symptoms?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
An excess of phlegm? A tendency towards belly aching? What you're describing sounds a lot like a flu.
Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol.
Why don't you treat all of your workers?
Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
That's monstrous.
Nature is monstrous, friend, and this plague is natural selection at work.
Well, that's all for now. There's got to be a mission related to that. I can't remember if there was, though, but I hope there is, because that would be fun. We'll put that back down.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this lady.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss.
What are you talking about, Silas?
Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house.
I see. I'm sorry, Vivardi.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you?
Yeah, about those fees you wanted. Actually, we're going to talk about Eugene. We need to talk about Eugene.
Yeah? What about him?
I want his teeth. You first. I know you buried him.
Well, yeah. It's what I'm contractually obligated to do. What's this about?
I heard he took his own life.
Left a sorry mess behind. I slashed 5% off his burial fees on account of him missing half his head. Was the least I could do.
You don't think his working conditions had anything to do with it?
I suppose we could have given him more work to do. It's like the company always tells us. Work fortifies our spirit. Listen, what happened with Eugene ain't exactly my purview. I'm no alienist.
I don't like how they talk about that. I read a letter from Phyllis. She mentioned digging him up for his gold teeth.
Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead.
This is getting a little too absurd. Let's just change the subject. I'll keep an eye out for them, I guess.
Let me know if you find anything.
And we don't really have everything yet. I want to get those teeth first. So we'll see you around, dude. Yeah. So let's see here. We need some waypoints. That's the botanical lab.
A few moments later.
Well, I don't know where the time went to, but I am getting close to the end of another episode here. Let's put these on. And start making our
I
way
used to
over.
skip rocks in the river till Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed terraforming.
Really?
I think she was jealous. She don't know how to skip rocks her own self.
Huh. Fascinating. Yeah, so let's see how close we can get to at least talking to Adelaide. Oh, he doesn't look happy. A primal hunter. I assume they're aggressive. This might suck.
Here we go.
It was at this moment he knew. He messed up.
Ow. Okay, so that was not cool. And we're back out here. That's wonderful. The heck is that thing? A slug? A leech? It's one big leech. Oh well, that stings a bit. Alright, so it does look like we've got some passive health regen. There's more marauders up ahead.
Not a peep from me.
Emerald Vale Community Center.
Here we go!
Baga!
Apparently the healing stuff doesn't work very fast, or I don't know what the heck happened there. So let's see, did I hit the wrong button, or is this just really slow? Isn't up supposed to...
Gotcha!
What's down do? No.
Moving.
Okay. I don't know what the heck button's supposed to activate the healing thing. Hold on.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I hit the wrong button for healing. Playing too many games at once. Let's see if we can get into these bushes here. It's hammer time.
Sorry.
That stung a little bit. We'll take that. We'll take your stuff. We'll take your stuff. And man, it's already nighttime again. I'll get your stuff. Okay, so they are pick and clean the residents out here. So why does, if this is technically part of the city, how come it's outside the wall? I'll go into that later. Actually, maybe, do I go into it now? I'll go into it now. We'll start it, and then I'll go and make my way over to the botanical lab. I feel like this might be where that book is at. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to finish this in this episode, but we'll start it. Okay. I guess let's start the fireworks.
Right, here we go! Get past that armor! Take cover!
Why won't they die? How many times do I have to... How many times does it require... He had like 2 hit points left, and he just refused to die. That thing is creepy as heck. Yeah, let's try this again. We're about to get spotted anyways. And another good old hammer.
No hard feelings, okay?
Let's see here. I think that covers the front entryway at least. Spacer's choice. Apparently there's a couple of red digits up that way, so first aid stuff. Spacer's Chaw, Spacer's Choice, a tin of Spacer's Chaw, nicotine high. Okay, that's like 2. Mock apple, Spacer's Choice, one medium-sized mock apple, carbohydrates plus 200% natural health regeneration. Last for 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and hold to use. Well, it should get us getting back into the green here a little bit. Bunch of those little substitutes for rats running around out there. I'll grab your stuff. Did I loot you guys? What happened to your body parts? You got hammer time, didn't you? Coming soon, feast your eyes on the great frilled mantiquine, sovereign of her nest, imported from the wilds of Terra 1 to thrill and excite your imagination. Okay. Canid, Beta lupus familiaris. Canids can be found all over Emerald Vale in 2 distinct varieties, domesticated and feral. Feral canids hunt in packs, while domesticated canids can be loyal companions. It is important to remember that the canid is still a wild animal, and should be treated with caution. They look a lot like dogs, but look at that tooth structure. I do not want to play with that. And you are primals. This display, fashioned to resemble a pair of mighty primals, required extensive field research. Let us have a moment of silence for the researchers who gave their lives in the pursuit of authenticity. Okay. Oh, hello. Apparently I can loot an arm. A bunch of... I suppose that's what salt tuna is supposed to be. Salt tuna. Salmonella salinus, or whatever, I can't really say. If the ocean and rivers are the heart and veins of Emerald Vale, then salt tuna is our highly profitable blood. These meaty fish live in the ocean and migrate upstream during mating season. Salt tuna are simplaris, which means they perish after a single reproductive episode. That's when our trusty Spacer's Choice harvesters scoop up their corpses to be cleaned, processed, canned, and delivered straight to your dinner table. Is that your other arm? Why is it stuck in the door? Your arm! It is not on your body! It is in the door! Oh, that is creepy. Very creepy. Yeah. Okay, very creepy. Alright, well, I do have to end the episode here. I am sorry, it is just getting exciting. I have only really been doing a lot of talking and talking to people. So, in the next episode, hopefully there'll be a lot more fighting and a little bit of talking. But anyways, until then, you all take care.